Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Guitar Bucket List. I'm Jim Fusco, and this is my Squier Jaguar guitar. This one right here checks a very simple thing off of the bucket list, and that is a Jaguar guitar. So I've always wanted one of these because I'm a big Beach Boys fan, and in the probably earlier to mid 60s, the Beach Boys were often seen with their Alpine white Jaguars and Stratocasters and Fender P basses. You know, I kind of always wanted to get the Alpine white one, but then I saw this one was a CME or Chicago Music Exchange exclusive. It was the Silver Sparkle, and with the matching headstock cap, and I just love that look on this guitar. It turns out that I ended up finding this one on Fender's website. So I guess it wasn't that much of an exclusive, but this one was part of a sale they were having at Christmas time last year, and a big sale on their website. And this one was very inexpensive. I don't exactly remember how much it was, but it was somewhere in the $300 range. And you know, I decided to buy it because it was kind of a no-brainer to finally get the one with the matching headstock, and you know, just really love the look of this thing all around, and it catches the light really well. And but it did have the tortoise shell pickguard, which I didn't like that much, but I knew I was going to change that pickguard. Little did I know that finding a Squier Jaguar pickup was extremely difficult. So that was a bit of a pain, especially because most of them are not routed for this type of layout here, especially on the bridge right over here. So this technically is like a reissue style. It's more of their vintage series. And so the newer ones don't have this old style of bridge. So they have like a 3-point sinking system into the body, and this only has 2. So underneath this pickguard, or underneath the bridge, I should say, there is another hole. But for the most part, it really does look really nice now with that kind of vintage looking aged kind of pearloid pickguard material. And one of the other things that I was really looking forward to is just all the different controls that this thing has. Obviously, for those who know, this guitar features a pickup switching system here that turns the neck pickup on or off, the bridge pickup on or off, and then the whole thing on or off right from here. It's got a master volume and a master tone. And then it also has this rhythm circuit here that cuts the whole thing out, just focuses on the rhythm pickup or the neck pickup right here, and has its own separate volume and tone controls. And it has kind of the highs rolled off, so you get more of a really kind of like a Beach Boy early tune backing track, where it was so clean, it had no grit to it whatsoever, not even any highs, just a real kind of plinky sound that was really good for background, especially when you're trying to feature something like, you know, 5 voices double tracked over each other, to make a really full sound. So you know, there's a lot of great about this guitar, especially now, but there was a lot of not so great about this guitar. So the first thing was, when I got it in, it unfortunately had a very minor neck pocket crack in the lacquer, or polyurethane, I should say. So what I did was I contacted Fender about it and got to a person there who was so friendly and just really helpful. I said, hey, can I send this thing back and get another one? Well, of course, because it was their big blowout sale, this was the last one that they had. So there were no other ones available at all. So my options were to have a very nominal amount of money taken off of the price, which is maybe like 10%. So, but 10% off of 300 was like 30 bucks. Or they said, you can pick something off of the Fender website in the accessories section, and they'll give it to you for free if it's a comparable value, you know, somewhere in the $50 to $100 range. So I started looking around, couldn't really find anything. I found a couple of guitar straps and whatnot, but then I asked them, hey, look, why don't I buy these pickups? They were the 65 Fender Jaguar pickups. They were the pure vintage set of pickups. And I said, I want to get these anyway at some point. Can you give me the 50 bucks off of the pickups and I'll pay the balance? And I got an email back from them a few hours later that said, Merry Christmas, we're gonna send you the pickups. You don't even have to pay the balance. So thank you very much, Fender. That was awesome. And these things are awesome. So when I bought the pick guard, I rewired it up, got everything fitting in here great. and now it's sounding about the best that it's going to sound, and I'm very happy about that, because I knew that I was going to take a bit of a hit quality-wise in terms of getting a Squier versus a Fender. And why is that? Well, it's really little things. Obviously a neck pocket thing can happen to anything. But when you look at the finish here, and really, upon just looking at it in the camera here, I'm sure that it looks gorgeous. And it does in person too. However, I'm not a big fan of the kind of fake yellowed over lacquer that they put on the whole thing. If you take a look over here, you could probably see a little bit of the headstock of my Gibson, which is a silver color, and actually I'll grab it. So if you look, these are both silver sparkle, but one of these things is not like the other. So when you look at what it would be without the yellowed over tint, I think most people would probably agree, and let me know if you disagree, but that this is clearly the superior look. Now, if this one here didn't have that yellowed over lacquer on the top, it would look like this. Now, don't get me wrong, the Gibson has nitro and is going to eventually yellow into probably something more akin to this, but for now, really like that look. And so when it came to this one here, I didn't know that it was going to be so yellowed over when I bought the thing. So anyway, it because it doesn't look like that in the pictures online. It just looks like it's that pure silver. When you look at it, you can tell that it just has a cheaper finish. It looks plastic almost. It looks just of a lesser quality. It feels like it's got a really thick layer of polyurethane on the top of it. It plays fine. I mean, you can tell from the fretboard here, it's like a very light colored rosewood equivalent. I don't know if it's Pau Ferro or something along those lines. I've conditioned it. It seems to come right back to that grayish look again very quickly. I did do a full-on fret polishing and sanding job, so it really does play nicely now. But it needed a lot of work, and the other thing is it's kind of got a nut slot in here that doesn't exactly work that great. If you're bending notes, and I don't recall now, I think it's on G, it's almost like there's two slots in it that are right next to each other, so it kind of goes like dink dink when you play it just acoustically. Are you going to really be able to notice when you plug it in and everything? Probably not. But it's just another one of those little things that you probably wouldn't get with a higher end guitar. Sometimes you do, and then you just complain about it. There's plenty of videos online. But this really checked off something that I think that I would play quite a bit. I think I would take this out and play for a gig. It's got the certain look. It's definitely got that Jaguar sound. It's pretty aggressive, yet clean at the same time. It could be described as tinny if the settings aren't dialed in, but we're gonna give it a quick go with a little extra gain, because I really like the way that sounds with this one on my new setup here, which is my new Marshall amp head. So we'll give that a shot, and this is the Squier, I almost said Fender, it's kind of Fender now with the pickups, but this is the Squier Jaguar in the silver sparkle finish. Okay, trying a little different look here for the playing demo, because I want to be able to try to change some of the settings on the amp here as we go through. There's a lot of different settings on here, but we'll go through them pretty quickly. Right now, I've got both pickups on in the standard mode. This is going through the Marshall Origin 20 here. Just neck. And just bridge. And now the rhythm circuit. This is with the tone all the way up. Or if we roll the tone back all the way, and for some or if you roll the tone back up again, or if you switch back over to just the neck on the regular circuit, so again, regular neck, rhythm neck. All right, switch back over, and why don't we crank up the gain? And in the middle. And bridge. Treble there. Roll that back. And then if we were to pull the gain out on here, or if we were to push that back in, keep that up there, roll this gain back, and then let's put on some pedals. How about the Boss Turbo Distortion? If we did both pedals on, and both pickups. Or just the neck. Pretty good. The Squier Classic Vibe 60s Jaguar checked 2 items off of the bucket list: the offset guitar body style and the Jaguar guitar. Make sure to check out guitarbucketlist.com for all the latest updates.